everybody, how you doing? There's a weird delay there. Is there a follow-up question to this? Let's find out. It's nice to see you all. I'm glad you're having a nice time. I've been having a terrible time in my life. I recently had to move back with my dad. Was that Siri? Did I say Siri? That's all right, mate. It's not a competition. I did. I had to move back in with my dad, which isn't very fun. Have any of you guys ever had to move back in with my dad? No. I would have probably seen you at breakfast, I suppose. It's hard moving back. The thing about my dad, right, is he's a doctor. So he thinks he's a lot better than me. My take on this whole people being doctors thing is, who cares? Some people are doctors, old man, get over it. Some people follow their dreams, yeah? Become stand-up comedians who are financially dependent on doctors. That's no big deal. I don't think take it very seriously, but it's hard. It's hard living with someone who's much better than you in every way. Because I find it hard. I find comedy hard. Some of the comedians you've seen tonight have made it look pretty easy. I'm here to make it look incredibly hard. That's my niche. So I'm going to stand out. It is hard. You guys are lovely, but I did some absolutely horrible gigs. I did a horrible gig a couple of weeks ago. I came out, I did all my best jokes. I did my stuff about Siri.
Amused Live. I'm known in these parts as Mark Dolan, and I'm in the company of a prodigious young comedic talent in the form of Patrick Spicer, who is through to the final of the Amused Moose National New Comedian Award 2019. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
It's actually, we're fresh from the gig. We've just wiped the sweat from our brows, and we had a brilliant night. It was a rocking, sold-out crowd, and you made them laugh, and you therefore, because of the laughter you created, sailed into the final.
Yeah, that's how it worked.
Generally.
Yeah.
Was it? How did it feel while you were up there? Were you having a good gig? Were you like,
yeah,
you know?
I was, but competitions are horrible.
Yeah.
Because they're so, it just makes you so self-critical.
Yeah.
So I felt like if it was any other gig, I would have been having a great time.
The worst thing a comedian can do, I think, isn't it, is analyse what's happening while they're on.
Yeah.
And that's what you always do at a competition, because you feel judged, you feel scrutinised, and you do it to yourself.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is that the audience have got these bits of paper in front of them, and they've got to put a number next to each comic based on how good they were, which is, I mean, it doesn't get more sort of gladiatorial than that, does it?
Yeah, well, just shooting for laughs is hard enough, and then numbers, and that guy's Siri going off in the first 20 seconds.
Yeah,
is
so
fun.
tell us about that. So basically, you spoke, and an audience member's iPhone thought that you were talking to it?
Yeah, I think I just said something like Siri, or he was bored and just playing with his phone, so then his phone went off. So then instead of doing my opening joke, I can't remember what I said. I just said, was that your phone?
Well,
it was a really strong start.
You did a lot more than that, basically. As we know, physically impossible to recreate funny moments once they've come and gone. But I was at the back watching, and basically every comic that does this competition, you know, they've got their tight 10 minutes and it's polished and it's ready to go. And therefore, for you to be distracted like that at the very beginning, you know, at the semi-final, well, basically it's not ideal, but the way you styled it out was brilliant, because you got a laugh out of it. And I do sometimes think in these tough conditions, if a comedian under that pressure could start improvising, then, I mean, you know, you're home and hosed, I think.
Yeah, I think the most fun that I have on stage is when something spontaneous happens, or just like if I'm really having fun at a gig and they really like me, then I can like improvise and have a lot of fun. If it's really tough, I tend to just stick in the material, and that's when it's miserable.
Well, do you know what I think? I've had this long theory that you see more of the essence of a comic when they are forced to improvise. So I sometimes think material is a barrier between the audience and the comedian's true essence. But when something happens, then we know that at that point it's not scripted. It's come from deep in your inside your soul, that you've had to just come up with something. And I think, and that's what we saw tonight. Actually, nice mix. We saw your solid material, and then you did a bit of improv. So that's really good. And how long have you been gigging?
About 2.5 years.
12 years. Okay.
2.5 years.
2.5. So that's like not that long, is it?
No.
Because it's not that easy to get gigs. It's not like you've had 2.5 years of gigging every night.
No, not every night. Maybe 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Usually.
That's quite a lot though.
Yeah, but it's tough. Yeah, but a lot of them are not good
Paid.
gigs. Yeah, well,
they're
definitely not
terrible
paid.
gigs. Yeah.
But tricky. So.
I know. But you just want to get yourself out there, don't you? Get yourself
Just want
heard,
to get
seen.
good at it, really.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the only. Do it as much as possible until
Correct.
consistently.
I know.
The thing I want to do is in line with the thing that's happening.
I think you're always happy to like do a horrible gig or do a gig for no money as long as you think you're going to learn something.
Yeah.
And that's where you get paid, isn't it? And you get paid in learning.
Knowledge. Yeah.
But I can see you're very physically hungry and you've got quite thin, so enough already with the learning.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Let's eat.
But
So whip round and get this man some food.
that's
So,
lovely. Thank you.
well, now, and what made you become a comedian?
I don't know. What I was really.
Be honest, was it one of those where everyone found you funny and then people begged you to be a comedian? Because that often happens.
I think I had maybe 3 people in my life who were like, "You should do it," but I was.
And who were they? Your priest, your accountant, and your dad?
No, I couldn't think of anything.
But anyway, a bunch of people just.
Yeah, 3 people. But I was just very. It was really cliche. I was just very sad, and I was like, I don't know what to do with my life, and I quit my job. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll try that because people told me. And then I did. And I did my first gig, and I was like, well, that's the thing that I want to do.
This is a very redemptive and inspirational story.
Yeah.
And what was the job? Probably not relevant what the job is, but you can tell me what industry?
I was a project manager in the NHS.
All right. Yeah, and it was just it's NHS generally. It's a challenging environment, right?
Yeah, it's just really stressful, and I think lots of people could do that job very easily, but I was very stressed out and sad, and also you can't make jokes in meetings like ever. You do that, and people are like, this is really irritating.
Yeah.
Like go and do your spreadsheets.
Right.
So
is that right? So you tried to do
generally,
that. Is it because of all of the sort of illness and death that surrounds you in it?
yeah, everyone's talking about death all the time.
Right.
So come in with your zingers. No, it was really admin and like back office NHS stuff. Like, just like an air of misery.
Yeah.
That it's hard to puncture.
It's pretty
I
tough.
wasn't funny enough to cut through. I'm sure a better comedian could have done a
But
really good
it's
job.
almost inevitably going to be a BAFTA-winning sitcom in about 10 years' time, written by you.
I hope so. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's goal 1.
So you, this is quite. I mean, what I love about comedy as an occupation and a thing that people do is it's often connected to their lives as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that as you say, it's a big low point. At that point, you're like, sod it, I'll just go and do some gigs or something. You know, quite often when people are at their lowest point, they find themselves compelled to like try something else and they get on stage. How were the first few gigs?
The first one, I invited like everybody I ever knew.
Okay, big mistake.
Which was stupid. Although at the time I really thought I smashed it, and then I tried to watch back the video about a month ago with my girlfriend, who's a comedian as well, and I stopped it 10 seconds in. I was like, my memory of it was like, I'd absolutely smashed it.
Because it was obviously very supportive laughter, right?
Not even, no, like it was not a good gig.
Okay.
Like, I just remembered it as a good gig. And I got heckled a lot because one guy brought all of his family were just like monsters and they heckled. It was like a showcase.
And you didn't know those people?
No, I got heckled on my opening line. I came out and said my name is, and I was going to say Patrick Spicer, and someone yelled something from the back, which I didn't even hear.
Wow.
So I didn't even get the chance to introduce myself.
Heckled in your first ever gig. You get heckled by an iPhone tonight. This is
Yeah.
pattern emerging here.
Yeah, it is. It's very depressing.
But no, it's not, because you've got the weapons to deal with it, my friend.
Yeah.
What about first of all, how do you write?
You
You sit at the laptop and just go for it? Or
try to.
Do you wait for things to land in your head? Or have you got bits of paper? What's the methodology?
I am very angry with myself at all times for not sitting down and writing. And then I sometimes do, and I write trash.
Yeah.
And then maybe there's one tiny thing, but the like mental cost of creating it. And then usually it's just something will pop into. Generally, I'm in a good mood, or if I'll improvise something at a gig, like not a whole story, but topics and stuff.
Yeah.
And then build out. But it tends to drop into my head. in a way that makes me feel like a fraud.
It's so tricky, isn't it? Because there are people like Ed Byrne who apparently just walks around and lives his life.
Yeah.
And then just things land, and he's just ready to catch them.
Yeah.
But then there are other people, certainly that are known to treat it like a job, really, 9 to 5, and sit at the laptop and just they're like buses. What's funny about buses?
I'm really jealous of people who can do that.
Yeah.
Is that what do you do?
Well, I do. What I do is I have like sort of almost leads, like subject areas that might have something, and pile them up, get big volume, and then I go to Starbucks and just internet shopping. But no, just you sit there and you try to. I just try to write it. Yeah, as in every word, just script it all.
Okay. Yeah.
And then what you do is you do it live, and then as you do it live, then hopefully extra bits will just emerge through improv. So I think a bit of scripted plus improv.
Yeah, that's a good, because then you've got something to fall back on if people don't like you being cheeky and spontaneous.
Exactly.
Just do something from before that you came with.
Exactly. I mean, I think the writing side of it, I would suggest that that's actually where comedians really, that's where you really earn your dollars. Is on a wet Tuesday morning at your laptop trying to churn something out. So, and then what about your style? Has your style developed and changed since you started?
Yeah, I was really deadpan and surreal at the beginning for some reason, and then I started hosting gigs, and the difference between the stuff I was writing and the way that I just was, it was like, if it was a good gig, I'd be having fun chatting to people, and then I'd go into jokes, and then I'd just lose everyone. Who's that person that's talking now? So then it was only last year I was like, I'm only going to write about things that are true, which was a big change, and in that I think I became much more relaxed and much more myself.
And then closer to the real you sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of comics, when they start,
easier.
Comics normally start with a bit of a sort of constructed persona, or the material can be very arch and have a real conceit built into it. And I think they do that as a defense mechanism. You're just like, I just need something to hide behind while I'm up there. And then after a while, you're like, what happened to you? Sod this, I'll just be me. It's far too exhausting trying to pretend to be this other guy.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I certainly had that before, and I've had that in TV where people have said, okay, you're the presenter, but can you be like, I was co-presenting with someone else, one of my first ever telly gigs, and they go, can you be a bit jealous of her? You're slightly grumpy because you think she's better than you. And it was torture, because it was sort of semi-acting, and it was, not a good idea. And I think it's the same with stand-up. Just cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
Get as close to the real you as possible, I think.
But it makes you think, as opposed to being like, how would I react, how am I supposed to react? You just can actually focus and be in the moment, instead of this same thing as like when the phone goes off, rather than being like, oh shit, like how am I going to navigate this as a person who's deadpan, as a person who doesn't smile or whatever. You just actually have a human reaction to it and then be like, oh, that's very, like, this is a competition, that's very distracting that you did that.
Before I let you go, what would you like to, what are you hoping to achieve in the next sort of the foreseeable future? What would you like to do?
In the foreseeable future?
Yeah, let's say the next year or two.
The next year or two, I want to do at least 45-minute solo show in Edinburgh.
Great.
At least that. That's
so
you're
focused on the live, yeah.
Yeah, and get in with more clubs and get closer to earning some money.
Yeah, make it. Yes, exactly.
But not
right.
in terms of like the main goal is just to make all the money from comedy broadly. But that's not a year or 2 year goal. That's a long-term goal.
Yeah, well, it's just a matter of time, because the spice is in the house. He's arrived in comedy, and he's not going to leave it. He's going to stay there. He's locked himself in.
Yes.
It's almost like a kind of Waco situation. And I can't wait to watch you progress. And I'd like to wish you very, very good luck in the final.
Thank you.
In August. It could be you, big guy.
Could be.
And if it's not, you're allowed to keep doing comedy if you don't win.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah.
They let you do that. Hills,
relief.
who runs the Amused Moves, she'll sign something and you'll be okay.
Oh, that's a huge relief.
Yeah,
I was really tied in.
She's got your back.
Okay, good.
Really,
all right,
really
thanks,
good
Mark.
luck. Patrick Spicer, #legend.
Thank you.
Hey.